engines aren't working. Krolia thought as her ship was on a collision course with Earth's surface. After her ship was on a collision course. After taking a hit from the Gara, thinking it was all over, she shut her eyes as the ship slammed in a remote area, disturbing the night air. Ivor was a man no older than 30 who resided in the house the ship had just crashed 30, 30 meters away from it. It was unusual that he'd get visitors, especially ones from outer space, considering how rural his house was. He was startled at what had just happened, causing him to go and investigate. He eventually came across what had just landed. Investigate just happened, causing him to go and investigate. He eventually came across what had just landed, or rather, had crashed. It's not every day that something would fall from the atmosphere. Is this a fighter ship? He thought to himself. He didn't know what was going on, but Ivor knew someone was in there that needed to be rescued, which is why he brought along his fire axe. He raised the axe and began cutting away at the remains of the ship. To his shock, someone was inside. Krolia managed to open her eyes to see the dark line of Ivor. Hello, are you okay? Can you hear me? Were the last words she heard before falling back into her unconscious state, prompting him to check for a pulse. She was still alive, but just barely, and from the looks of it, she wasn't in good shape either. She needed help, and fast. He continued to use his axe to free Krolia and pull her from the wreckage. To see the true extent of her injuries, she was bleeding out after being impaled, possibly by a piece of metal through the waist. He quickly order to reduce the bleeding, and swiftly got her back to his home. Hang in there, whoever you are. Krolia was greeted to a white ceiling above her, along with the rays of the morning sun. Skeptical about what was happening, she quickly checked her wounds by feeling them and painfully forcing herself to get up so she could look at herself in the mirror to see herself covered in bandages. She gently touched her worst injury, only to wince. All of this was definitely real, but she couldn't tell if she had been captured, meaning she was still on her guard even if she was injured. Ma'am, are you awake? Freeze! She pointed his blade at him. Who are you? And who do you fight for? He placed the food down on the bedside table before raising his hands in mercy. Whoa, please calm down. I'm not here to cause you any harm. I was just bringing you some practice. I guess I fight fires and save lives, he modestly answered. Krolia lowered her head, her blade, before dropping it and holding her waist. In pain, he wasted no time helping her back to bed. There we go. Take it easy now and rest, he told in an assuring tone. Thank you. But why are you helping me? Krolia asked. Why wouldn't I help you? You crashed here in a spaceship and nearly died from your injuries. Even though I have no clue who you are, I chose to help you. I couldn't leave you out there to die. Even outside of being a firefighter, I still stick to my duty of saving lives, no matter who they are. You aren't an exception, he explained as he took the tray of food and the mug from the side before giving it to Krolia. Here, you need to have something in order to recover. Whoa, so selfless. and kind-spirited Krolia thought in surprise. Thank you. I will cocaine you, Krolia, she answered as she took a sip of the tea before pulling the mug back suddenly from burning her tongue due to the heat. Ira chuckled before taking her mug of tea and doing a blowing action to cool off the drink. Curler repeated the action and noticed how it worked, leading her to blow the drink to cool it off and eventually consuming it. It was warm, calm, and sweet.